one of the twins, either Helen or Maureen. The second one is Uncle Arthur, Auntie Kit, Rose and the little dog. And that's a girl that I used to know at school.
That's not you then?
Bella Blakely. No, it's not me. No, it's not Peggy either. Just a girl I knew at school. And that's Rose as a baby, just before the twins were born. That's Rose's, that's your dad's mum, and Auntie Kit Grace. That's Uncle Bill, George and Alfie, his little brother. And that's me with Patricia on the swing.
What year would that be?
In Helen's garden. Oh, that was before I was married.
The one with you was Patricia?
And me and Patricia, that was before we were married. Over visiting Auntie Helen's and his mum's. And that was before we were married. That's Uncle Arthur and Rose and the little dog. That's you. I can't remember now where that house was. Oh, that's when we first went to Bushy Lee. And that one's Dad and the twins. That was when he was home during the war. That's Auntie. That's your cousin Dorothy. That's who I remember that is. That's Dora's girl, Dorothy. That's you again. That's the twins again. And that's Dad and the three of you when he was home on leave. That's Rose in the garden, like the other picture. And that's Auntie Dorothy and Michael when they visited us in Garden City.
Who were they?
The farm, Dorothy Taylor.
And Michael. Friends, are they?
Yeah, they're friends.
How did you get to know them?
When George was in the forces, he met Dorothy, and him and another fellow used to continually visit Dorothy. She asked them to the house. She used to give them meals and look after them well when they were on their off days.
Eric Aberley, that would be, would it?
Aberley, yes, I couldn't remember his name. Eric, yeah, Aberley. That's Rose as a baby. That's when she was about 10 months old then. 10.5 months. I'd just gone into hospital to have the twins, and Auntie Helen took her for a little while, and she walked then when she was at Auntie Helen's. That's Dad and I down at Jaywick. And the next is the twins when we lived in our first house when we were in Barking.
Which one's which?
Well, that's when the house the twins were born in Barking.
Which twin is which?
That's Helen, that's Rose, and that's Maureen. That's Maureen. That's Helen, Rose,
so Helen
and Maureen.
On the left?
Yes, Helen's on the left. Rose and Maureen. And that's Auntie Jean Roberts' wife, Jean Robertson. And that's me and Patricia. That's before I was married. We were at Auntie Helen's. And that's me again. That was at Auntie Helen's house before I was married. And that's when I lived in London. The next one is when I was courting your dad. And that's me still before I was married with Patricia again. And of course that's your dad and myself and you on holiday in Cornwall.
In Cornwall.
That's Dad and I and the twins when they were visiting Auntie Elsie when they were very young. That's Nancy Bell, a girl worked with in Eaton Place. And this is Phyllis, worked with her when I met George with the Americans. And then that's George and Rose when he was home on leave one day, one weekend. I did see Nancy Bell, didn't I?
Yes, there was someone with her there. Was it May, did you say?
Oh, in May, yeah, I can't remember her second name, May, yes. And that was one of the twins, I can't say which, with you. And that's you again, at the seaside. That's Auntie Elsie. That's Auntie Elsie. That's my uncle and cousin and myself at Musselburgh.
Which uncle would that be? Which side of the family?
My mother's brother, White, Uncle White, Alec, that
Alec.
was his name,
Oh.
Alec White. And that's one of George's girlfriends he knew before he married me. And that was taken at Torquay on one of our holidays. And this was in the garden at in Welwyn Garden City, Arthur and Kit, and that was the same girl that George knew before we were married. And that's Rose at Auntie Kit's, and Arthur, Uncle Arthur. That's Uncle Arthur and George and the dog. They were home on leave. That's that's Michael, Auntie Dorothy's little boy. This one next.
Yes.
That was Miss Monroe, one of our teachers at school.
Which school?
Miss Mary Murray's school,
Oh, that
Preston
place.
Pans, yes. And that's you at the seaside. And that's Elsie and Doris, and that's you as a baby. I can't remember who those two are. It might have been my two cousins from Uncle over the page there,
Oh, yes.
in Musselburgh. And that's you again, and that's Auntie Elsie, I think. Paul and myself in Dad's car.
Do you remember where that was there?
Where that was at Aysgarth,
Oh, yes.
and that's Aysgarth, the same place, but it's Dad at the door with Susie, Sally and James in the front there. That's
Jeff, is it?
Jeff. That's Jeff.
Who's Jeff?
Jeff, one of the boys that was friendly with the girls at school.
Jeff
There
Freeman.
was three brothers, yes, Jeff and the three brothers, Jeff. And that's Helen, oh,
No, wasn't it?
that's Doris and Elsie.
Ah, yes. Elsie on the left, isn't it?
Elsie and Doris, yes.
Ah.
That's George's granddad and George's sister, I think it was Doris there,
Would that's
visiting their granddad in down near Basingstoke.
well, that's Hampshire way.
Yes, Hampshire, yes. Old Hampy used to be called.
Old Hamp.
And the next one is George, Morley, Helen, Auntie Helen, Uncle Morley, Rose, Uncle Charlie, Maureen and Bessie.
And who are Uncle Charlie and Auntie Bessie?
Charlie and Bessie were Helen's, Les's mum and dad. Yes, I was forgetting who they were. That's Eric Aberley, George's friend in the forces. And that's Dad, you and I, in Welwyn Garden at Land's End.
Start.
That's the Morris and Bruce and Morris. No, it's Morris is the tall one, Bruce is the shorter one. from New Zealand, rugby players they were. And that's Jeanette's two children.
And they were in Australia?
They're her eldest children. They've gone to Australia. And that's...
Yeah, Bruce and Morris...
Bruce and Morris Robertson.
Robertson, so they're your cousins,
yes, they were cousins,
oh.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And they played for the Kiwis, was it?
Yeah, they played for the Kiwis. Yes. This was VE Day celebrations.
A street party?
Street party, yes, that's right.
Whereabouts are you in that picture?
Oh, there's the twins anyway, and Rose. Twins are... where am I? Well, I couldn't tell you.
Well, we'll find you later.
Can't remember where I am. And these are three of the girls' friends at school, boys at school. Good friends they all were. And Maureen, Helen, don't know which or which, and one of their friends, one of the school friends, she was a very good friend as well, she was. And then that's Susan, Doris Gill, Auntie Doris Gill, and that's me before I married George, Auntie Helen's.
Playing golf?
Playing golf on her lawn. You playing, practicing golf, tennis in Welland Garden City. You played with the boys that lived in the house that joins our back garden. And this was George in his swimming club, Welland Garden City. Beckton, when he worked at Beckton Gaslight and Cook Company. That's George.
He was swimming, was he?
Yes, he was a good swimmer. He was a good swimmer.
What did they used to call him?
They used to call him Tarzan. Who went down the swimming pool at all was Tarzan. This is the girls at school. Girls. The fourth one is Maureen on the front row, and the second one on the second row is Helen. That's Maureen, that's Helen. And all their friends, their classmates at school. And that's your cousin Dorothy. She died when she was just about 21.
She was a nurse?
Yes, she had cancer. Oh, poor Dorothy. Your aunties from New Zealand came over on the Rangitata and they went back on the Rangitoto, and you got a couple of little boats that they left for you.
That's right.
And when they went back.
Just the middle one.
And that's me and your aunties and uncle that came over from New Zealand. That's Auntie Gracie, Uncle Alec and Katie.
Is that the same Uncle Alec that we saw earlier?
No, that's a different Uncle Alec.
And who's at the bottom picture?
They're Kavanagh. There's Kavanagh, their name. Whereas the other uncle was White.
And who's in the bottom picture?
Well, that's me, Dad, and Helen's friend Bernie. Oh yes, we were seeing her back to New Zealand. She got a big stick of rock she bought in one of the places on holiday. The top one as well, that's Bessie and Charlie, and the twins and Dad. We went out for the day somewhere and we're up on the Downs. Yes, that's right, on the way home. And the next two are the Harmsworth twins that took the training at the ICI in Garden City. They passed with flying colours. And that's Dad when he went in the forces.
Didn't wear glasses then?
Yes, he did. He must have taken them off. He wore glasses when I first knew him, yeah. Do you want the other three?
Yes, carry on.
And that's Granny with the, I'll think for Rose's baby. That's Granny with Rose's baby in her arms. Susan, that would be. And then this was taken at when Rose came over to see us one day. That was Morley's mother. And Jean, that was Jean and Robert and his wife, Jean and Robert, that's Jean's mother that came over to see us. And that's Rose fooling about, and Derek, and me, Dad, in Bushy. And that's Gran in her little cottage.
Where was the cottage?
In Boxmoor, Hemel Hempstead.